everyone, welcome to the United Stand and welcome to transfer deadline day. What a January transfer window it's been. We've got Bruno Fernandes, but there is still time, and there is still time for Manchester United fans to lose their SHIT, because we have been linked to players that some of us would be shocked about, some of us would welcome, and there is still time. Plus, we've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference reaction to give you, which is just hot off the press as well. Very interesting comments from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about potential signings. But let's start off with Joshua King, formerly of Manchester United, Norwegian, 28 years of age, currently injured for Bournemouth. Sky Sports and a few outlets reporting that Manchester United have made a transfer deadline day bid for Josh King to come in and help us up front. Now, look, Josh King, I made a joke on Twitter and people thought I was being serious, and it's actually Flex's line that I nicked, but he won't dare put it out. And he said, if you were playing FIFA and you didn't have much money, would you ever consider going to get Josh King? And the answer is no. And I know FIFA's not real life, but this is real life. Why are we looking at Josh King? Because we're desperate. We're desperate. We've gone from Erling Haaland to Cavani to Josh King. If this was a loan deal, I would be like, you know what? Josh King, 28, 5'11", quite quick, quite skillful, not really a top six striker and never will be, but as an extra body, he has the attributes that we would like in the next few months. He is quick, he can put himself about a bit. I mean, sort of Danny Welbeck sort of player, probably a little bit better than that, but not a Manchester United signing, and that's the problem for me. Eddie Howe has said, look, it's down to the chairman. I know what Josh King thinks of Manchester United. Maybe there's, basically leaving the door open. But the problem is, this is money. This is money that is short-term gain for a long-term problem. If you look at the last year, we've got rid of Fellaini, Ashley Young, Valencia, Darmian, Lukaku. We've got rid of quite a lot of the dead wood, and there's still more to get rid of. But if you sign a player like Josh King, with all due respect, he helps us out in the short term until Rashford's back, and then we're probably never going to need him again. So you retain a bit of deadwood. And the fact that I've heard as much as £25 million, I'm like, no, this is a deal that you do for about 5. So for me, it's the right player, it's the wrong circumstance. I think for 4 months, he would be ideal, because he's Premier League proven as well. We're not expecting to bring in bloody Timo Werner. We need somebody just to help us out. So for 4 months, I'd be happy with it, but not for 4 years or 3 years on a £27 million deal. It's just not one that I would do personally. And I think a lot of people in the live comments are saying, oh yeah, he wouldn't be a bad player to get in at Manchester United. But I personally think that he would, because I think what it makes us do is it makes us become a short-termism, and we don't want to do that. How can you say we've got a future vision and then go and sign a 28-year-old who's actually not good enough? I mean, is anybody looking at signing Josh King? Like, even Everton? No, they're not. So he's not going to suddenly turn into prime Alan Shearer, because he's just not that sort of player. So for me, it's a big fat no in relation to that, and it sounds like it may well be a big fat no from Manchester United, but we'll just have to wait and see whether there is any more development in that, because I think Bournemouth have certainly left the door open with it, and it'll be interesting to see whether anything else is done with regards to it. I mean, look, what I would say as well is, and I must say this, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that in relation to strikers, I don't think we'll do any more business in this transfer window. It's a difficult month, and it doesn't look like we're going to do anything. I don't think that necessarily means that Manchester United won't do anything, but for me, look, Josh King's better than Slimani. He's better than Agala. And I think maybe somebody predicted this not too long ago. They said, we'll get linked to Slimani, we'll get linked to Agala, and then we'll end up getting somebody like somebody who's a little bit better than that. And maybe that's where we're looking at. But not for me. It's not something that I would want to look at, if I'm honest with you. Good player, but his injury record's not great, says Josh Wise. Don't see no point of signing him. And just more deadwood and more wages to pay. Useless signing. And Sky says United will bid again. I mean, the scary thing is, I would take him on loan tomorrow. I would. I mean, and in fact, he wouldn't play tomorrow because he's injured. He's currently injured. He wouldn't be back until the Chelsea game. So, but the problem is, it's the money. Like, how can you... It's the hypocritical nature of it. How can you spend 3 weeks arguing with Sporting Lisbon over 5 million for a player like Bruno Fernandes, and then in 24 hours go and spend 25 million on Josh King? It would just be ridiculous. It would be like It would be typical Manchester United, and I know there's people thinking about walking out tomorrow and there's people about singing. Well, this would make those people want to walk out and sing even more, because how can you spend 3 weeks, or let's be honest, 8 months negotiating for Bruno Fernandes, who's got clear quality, and then in 24 hours go and spend 25 million on Josh King? It'd just be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculously desperate. And it makes a mockery of what we're meant to be doing at Manchester United. We're meant to be building for the future. We're not meant to be wasting our transfer budget on a player that we won't even need in the summer, because Rashford will be back and Greenwood will have nurtured himself. We do need a striker, though. We've just left ourselves. I think this is a desperately bad transfer window. You know, as much as I love Bruno Fernandes, realistically, if we don't get a striker in today, we are going into the rest of this season on a whim and a prayer, because we haven't got enough up front. We just haven't. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said this, and I'm worried. I'm worried about this. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that, you know, he was asked, if you don't get a striker, what do you think about the rest of the season? Is it a blow? And he said, well, Bruno helps us with that. We can play in a different way. We've been playing 3 at the back, and with all the centre-backs coming back. So we're going to go to 3 at the back. I hate 3 at the back. I think it's crap. I don't think there's any evidence that 3 at the back helps us as an attacking side. I think defensively we're better. You're going to be better, aren't you? You've got 5 defenders. But 3 at the back is not helpful for Manchester United as an attacking force. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And why are we changing our format? He only said last week, I've been here 8 months, I'm not going to change how I play. And within a week, he's changing the way he's going to play. We're going to go to 3 at the back now. We've hardly played 3 at the back this season. I think we've done it about 5 times. And we're going to go to 3 at the back. I mean, so what we'll end up doing is 3 at the back. Wan-Bissaka as a right wing back, which he's not good at. Brandon Williams as a left wing back, which, you know, he's learning the role. So width is going to be hard to find. You're going to get Matic and Fred sat in front of 3 centre-backs. And then you're going to have Bruno on his own trying to create everything for Martial and James up front. I just think we're going to struggle to score goals. I think we should stick to a 4-2-3-1. But it's looking like we're going to go that way. I've got a real problem with my live comments today. I do not know what is going on. It's slow than... it's not slower than Matic. Let's have a look here. Sharath, Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath says, signing an injured player is to fix our injury problems. The best young talent is always in Germany, but maybe our club is lazy. I think we can't moan too much, because I think we always knew that the January transfer window... today, if we signed a striker, it was going to be desperate. You know, we were never going to get anybody decent today. It was always going to be desperate. And the thing is, do you want to be getting somebody or nobody? He's mad dick. Bruno, best midfielder since Paul Scholes, says Luke Hay. I don't like that song. I like the video that 442 Tunes does, but I don't like the song for Bruno. I don't want to hear, it's Bruno Fernandes. That is a Carrick song, and it's a Scholes song. It doesn't need to go to a third player. Give him his own bloody song. Rather sign Josh King on a short-term loan than in the summer transfer sign a decent striker. If we had money to play around, I would like to test the water with Joseph Martinez, says the Doctor 92. And Greg Hempsel says, do you think they delayed the Bruno deal to leave our opponents for top 4 less time to strengthen, or is Woodward not that smart? No, we delayed it to save a bit of money. In fact, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked a very good question about Bruno Fernandes. Will he be involved tomorrow? He said yes, we'll just have to see. To me, it doesn't sound like Bruno's going to start tomorrow. I mean, he has to start. I will say that right now. He's got to start tomorrow. Ole was a bit uncommitted about that. He was like, well, we'll see. He'll be involved, but I don't know how much he'll be involved in. He's got to bloody start that game. We need to win tomorrow. Also, he was asked about why the Bruno Fernandes deal didn't happen in the summer. I think Simon Stone asked him. Absolutely spot on. This, to me, is very interesting, because obviously I spent all last summer, from about March to August, saying that United were after Bruno Fernandes and I expected us to sign him, and we didn't. So I'm very excited that we've signed him now, but I'm very curious why we didn't do this in the summer. And I will say this, and I'll keep saying this. If we'd got Bruno Fernandes in the summer with James and Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, that would have been a good summer. This is a signing that should have happened in the summer. Whatever, United seem to want to slap themselves on the back and say what a great job we've done. It is a great signing, well done. But I'm not slapping you on the back, because it should have happened in the summer. Don't act like you've just gone and unearthed this great talent that nobody ever bloody knew about. Your whole fan base was telling you to sign him in the summer, and you didn't. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, we didn't do it because it was timing, priorities and money. So that's exactly what I said. So it's not about him not being... remember there's all them leaks coming out in July about, he wasn't good enough. And I was saying, if we don't go for him, something's weird has happened, because I know that we're in for him. They walked away because of the bloody money, didn't they? They didn't want to pay the money. That's the truth. And Ollie admitted, this is the best bit of the lot. Ollie admitted, we've been following him for years. I knew it. I knew all this. They just all spin. But he said he's grown as a player and he's a leader, which is obviously very important. Can't we just get someone from the youth academy, says Daniel Gibson. I don't know whether there's anybody in the youth academy ready to step up. So anyone who's joining us a little bit late, there is this talk of a Josh King bid by Manchester United for Josh King, obviously. Bournemouth player, 28 years of age, 5'11". He is quite quick. I mean, look, Josh King is a Bournemouth player. You know, that's it. I don't even think he's an Everton player. I don't think he'd get in Everton's team. So United spending money on a player like this is a worry. But this is the position we are in. We've prepared so badly for this transfer window. We've got so little depth up front that we could end up paying money. Because Bournemouth aren't going to go, you know what? You have him on loan to the end of the season while we're fighting a relegation battle. Bournemouth, I mean, I think Ollie's right. Why would Bournemouth sell anyway? But I hope they don't. I hope they don't sell, because I don't want to pay money for players like that. I would rather we just got nothing, or a loan deal was what we wanted. So what are we doing messing around with this? But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says, I don't think we'll do any more business, but I think we will. Thoughts on Willian Jose, says Jimmy Cartwright. I don't really know anything about him. I don't know anything about him, apart from the fact that he's the same age as Josh King. So he's 28. So he's hardly the next big thing, is he? If nobody's really interested in him. Ollie said just 2 days ago that he wanted a striker who would break his nose or toe to score. Now he's happy with his options. Unforgivable, says Mabias Drummer. Salah Ahmed says, if Bruno does not start, do you think we can in with it tomorrow with a midfield three of Fred, Pereira and Lingard starting? I don't think we can win tomorrow with a midfield like that. I'm more concerned that it looks like we're going to stick with the back three, and I know a lot of you like it, so exactly what a fan channel's all about. Everyone's going to have different opinions. But Ollie has basically said that we're going to go with the 5-3-2 from now on, and I hate it. I hate the 5-3-2. I don't think there's many examples of 5 at the back, or 3, or however you want to call it, working well in the modern game. I just think it's desperation. Why change the way you've been playing all season? Stick to your bloody guns, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They won't start Bruno. They will bring him on after the 70th minute to stop the walkout, says Tommy B. That would be politically stupid to do that. If they don't bring Bruno, if they keep Bruno on the bench to keep fans in the ground, how childishly manipulative is that when we need 3 points? I know people who aren't walking out anyway. So give those people, Bruno Fernandes, get us the 3 points. I'm not bothered about keeping a player on the bench to stop a walkout. How small-minded would that be? Just get him on the bloody... He's got to start tomorrow for me. United will not sign anyone before selling Pogba if they don't have the money. Going to be a long summer window as usual, else they will try and keep him and only look for a striker in the summer, says Shiam Illa. I wouldn't disagree. Jay Kellyog says, guaranteed he tries to fit Bruno and Lingard into the starting lineup. He loves Lingard too much. Darren Cox says, get your Bruno song, ABBA, Fernando, but Fernandes still works. Can I hear the drum, Fernandes? I don't really like that song. And welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Irrelevant. Thanks for joining in there. What else did he talk about then, Ollie? He said that about the protest, he said the fans will back us. They've always been good. Didn't really say much about Wolves because we've been playing them a lot recently, so we know each other well. Rojo's gone on loan because he can't get game time. He needs to play. He'll be back in the summer. James Garner's not going to go on loan. He's going to stay, which I think is an intelligent move, to be fair. And obviously talking a lot about Bruno Fernandes and what a great person he is, and how he's a leader, and how he's had a chat with him and said he wants him just to come in and be who he is, which I think is really, really important. So yeah, this is good. This is good, and I'm very, very happy with in relation to that. Just watch Bruno interview. His English is so fluent, says Vitaly Saragiyuke, which I think is important. It is important that he can do that. Welcome to Aaron King, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Imagine if it was Josh King. I'm very excited to see Bruno Fernandes. I mean, look, I think today's going to be very interesting. We've got a lot of content coming up for you today, so make sure you get involved in that. Salah Ahmed says, are we just playing 3-5-2 to copy Wolves and stopping them and not being proactive enough to go for the win, even though we're the home team? I think we're going to play 3-5-2 because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got loads of centre-backs now and he hasn't got many forwards. As I said last night on the preview, give it a watch. I said on the preview, the problem is now, when you try to play the 4-2-3-1, he hasn't got the three attackers anymore. He's only got James, Greenwood and Martial. So he's got to change his formation. But I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's stupid. Changing your formation because you haven't got enough players. It's amateur. But this is because we didn't get Haaland, isn't it? Let's be honest with you. With a fully fit squad, what is your starting 11, says Matt Corral. I'd still play the 4-3-3, so I'd have De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka. I'd play Lindelof and Maguire at the moment. Hopefully Tuanzebe can come through, but he isn't at the moment. Williams at left back. I'd play a 3. I'd have a holding midfielder of probably McTominay or Matic. I'd play Bruno and Pogba together. And then I would put my front 3 would be, currently, it would still have to be James, Martial and Rashford. We still need a bit of work on that team. We still do. Even with everybody fit, we still do need a bit of work on that team. But I would play the 4-3-3 that he played when he first got in the job, that he seems not able to play anymore. Beckham Din says, can't wait to see Bruno play and provide balls to Martial and Greenwood instead of side to side. And yes, my real name is Beckham Din. There you go. He's confirmed that. And Buster Nut says, Marky is going to 5 at the back to save his job. Restrict the opponent. 2, Ollie is... it is improvement to me. It is unacceptable. Welcome, Poch. And Zayn Miassi says, Mark, I don't understand. We have much richer owners. Why have we spent less than you in the transfer window? Arsenal have not got richer owners than Manchester United. We're a much richer club than you. Yeah, I mean, look, just very, very quickly about that. We are sort of merging a transfer daily here with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference reaction. And Ashley GR says, I'm a bit concerned that Ole's going to play Bruno deep. Look, Bruno Fernandes is a massive positive. It's a reset button for a lot of people, but it's a worrying reset button if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to start playing 5 at the back, because we won't create many chances and we're going to be very boring to watch. I found the game against Man City on Wednesday boring. And I know a lot of people are like, wow, we beat them, whatever. It was boring. It was boring. Man City had loads of the ball. They had loads of chances. We hardly did anything and we won the game. If you want to win games like that, that's fine. I don't think it's Manchester United, though. And maybe somebody's right there. Maybe Solskjaer is now thinking, I just need to grind wins out to keep my job. But that's not what he said at the start. That's not who he played for as a player. That's not who Manchester United are. We've got to play the way that this club is meant to play. And I don't like 5 at the back. We've never done 5 at the back. I can't remember us ever doing 5 at the back, apart from under Mourinho. I don't think Van Gaal did it, but I'm talking about success days. We're not built on 5 at the back. We're a 4-4-2. You know, that's what we really do. And all right, you've got to evolve that, but you don't evolve that by playing 3 centre-backs. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And it's gonna, if that's what we're going to do, it's going to be very negative football because we haven't got the wing-backs to do it anyway. Wan-Bissaka's not a right wing-back. He's just not. He's a right back. He's not a right wing-back, and I don't think he ever will be. He's just not got that attacking finesse, really. He's a defender, and he's a brilliantly superb, I think, world-class right-back, but not going forward. So I'm not looking forward to that if that's what we're going to do. I hate the 5-3-2 or the 3-5-2. I just don't like it. It's not what we're about, and it's not what Ollie's been about, so I hope he's not going to do it. Also, I just hate playing 3 centre-backs. Like, if you play 3 centre-backs, you're not... Somebody in the attack is not playing because you're playing 3 centre-backs. So I'd rather have, you know... I don't like it. I just don't like playing 3 centre-backs. It just doesn't... It's just not a good thing. But it's personal. I know a lot of you do. So I'm worried about that. But also I'm worried about this transfer deadline day because Joshua King, apparently Manchester United have made a bid. I've been told it's up to 25 million, which is stunning. Where have we got 25 million from when we've been arguing about 5 million for Bruno Fernandes for months? So desperation... Is he the right sort? He's the right sort of player on loan. 100% he's the right sort of player on loan, but not to buy. 28 years of age, and he's a Bournemouth player. Like, and he's not even a potentially good Bournemouth player. It's just a stopgap player that you're going to pay money for. I'm massively concerned about it, and I hope we don't do it unless we can do it on loan. In which case, I'd be like, look, he's perfect for 4 months, but he's not perfect for 3 years. That's not building a future. That's a player that in the summer just becomes deadwood. So, yeah, and you know. It's interesting. I think something will happen on transfer deadline day. I know Ollie says it won't, but I think it will. Emre Can's gone to Dortmund for about 25 million. But the thing about Emre Can, is that I would have welcomed him at United, but maybe because he played for Liverpool, he didn't quite fancy it. Maybe United were never in for him. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. I'm concerned that Ollie will train Bruno's powers out of him, says Bodak Jade. No, I don't think that will happen. How many goals and assists for Bruno before the summer, says Salah Ahmed? I'm glad you asked me about that. I'm happy to say United should get Ben Yedder in the summer, says Jacob Hawks. I think Bruno Fernandes, between now and the end of the season, will get 10 goals and assists combined. He's not going to get 10 goals and 10 assists. I think by the end of the season he'll have 10. When you add it together, his goals and assists will amount to 10 or more, which is a good return. But I think definitely, yeah. I mean, he's going to play what? How many games is he going to play between now and then? Probably going to play about 20, 30 games, isn't he? So, yeah, I think he will do. Arsenal signed Cedric, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath. Yeah, exactly. Cedric who? Rather get Callum Wilson, says Kian. Yeah, well, one, Bournemouth won't sell us Callum Wilson, and two, they probably want 60 million, wouldn't they? So, look, very good point. Somebody just said there, it whizzed by, so I didn't see the name. They just said that, is this not Manchester United now? They bloody barter the main deal in Bruno Fernandes, and then quickly after it go and do a signing that just shows how inept we are. We go and make an amazing signing, and then we go and do something ridiculously stupid and waste a load of money again. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, if Josh King comes to the club, he's been at the club before. You know, we've got to back him. It's not his fault. And I think he might, in the short term, he might be able to help us out. But it's more about what are we doing spending money on a player like that, I think. Would you bring Zaha back, says David Page? Again, of course I would bring Zaha back, but I think Zaha's going to cost you a lot of money, 50, 60 million. And United, as I understand it, United just would not be looking to do that. I think Malen would be a decent player to bring in from PSV. What do you think to him, says Lewis Prende? Don't know much about him really, Lewis, to be honest. I can only be honest, and I don't know that much about him. So, yeah, can't say too much about that. Just having a quick check around, see if there's anything going on in relation to other transfer news for you. Is there going to be any other strikers? Well, I don't know that we would go for anybody else now. To be honest, this Josh King thing has sort of come from nowhere. And Therese, who's a Norwegian fan, says, I don't want Joshua King anywhere near Manchester United. I think if we can pull it off as a loan deal, I wouldn't be too fussed. But if we're pulling it off as for money, which makes no sense. I mean, what part of me would be quite surprised if we spent money. I've been told we haven't got any more money, so I'd be surprised if we spent any more money. But let me just say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he doesn't think we'll do any more business today. So that could well be the end of that. Jack Grealish should join. Look, I'm not going to get drawn into play. I can see a lot of people saying Jovic and Werner and Edouard and Moussa Dembele. None of these players are going to come. We're not going to... The thing is, what you've also got to consider is that Manchester United struggle to do deals. It takes them weeks. How are we going to do a deal in 12 hours? Because that's when the transfer window closes. Bruno will flop because no one breaks the lines, says Crimson Acolyte. It's going to be there is going to be some adjustment time. I mean, can I just ask you lot very, very quickly? I know we're coming towards the end of the stream, but I sometimes like to do this as sort of market research in the United Stand community. What do you think? Get ready with your typing fingers. What do you think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying we'll change to playing 5 at the back, 3 centre backs? Are you happy about that? Do you think that system can work, or do you think it's a bad idea? Because as I said, only my opinion, I think it's a terrible idea. I've seen us play that 5 at the back, and I've not seen it work once really. It did okay against Liverpool in the first half, then Klopp figured it out. Wednesday night, I know we won the game, but come on, if City could have finished, it would have been at least a 3-1 loss, and we created next to nothing. Chelsea in the first half in the Carabao Cup was dreadful. We changed it in the second half and won. We did it away to Partizan Belgrade, that was awful. We did it away to Anfield, created next to nothing, a bit like City the other night. It's just a very I'm not saying we can't win games with it. I'm just saying it's a very defensive formation. And you think about when it worked against Man City on Wednesday, very defensive, and it worked against Liverpool, although we still lost at Anfield. Again, it's a very defensive formation, and I just don't like it. I hate it. Christopher Danielson hates it. No, a lot of people saying it's trash, it's stupid, horrible. He thinks he's Conte, says Sanjiv. I hate it, says Geman. Supreme hates it. Terrible. It's boring, says It's Me Louis. It's so boring, says Mohammed. It doesn't suit Bruno, says Adam the Human. I'm trying to find out. I actually thought more people would like it, actually. It's just because the situation we're in, it will not be for the future, says Mr. Antonios. Yeah, but we don't... No, I disagree with you on that one. I think Ollie's trying to tell us that. But why would you do that? You have your principles, you play to it. If you haven't got enough players to do it, if you haven't got enough players to play the formation you want to play, you get somebody in from the youth setup and you stick to your principles. That's what you do. Like, Pep Guardiola ain't going to park the bus because he ain't got enough people to play tiki-taka, is he? Look, Jurgen Klopp's not going to stop playing 4-3-3 because Salah and Firmino get injured. He'll just put players in there who play the role but aren't as good. You stick to your guns. Changing it because you've got an injury, and it's only Marcus Rashford, let's not forget. We're going to change our whole formation because we haven't got Marcus Rashford. I don't like it, but I know there are people out there that do. We could have bought Eriksen for 15 million, says Martin Thedent. We couldn't. Saves the embarrassing defeats to lower teams. Ollie thinks he's clever, says Harrison Daniel. Werner's going to go to Liverpool in the summer, says Dritton. It's not 5 at the back, it's 3. Gives you more going forward. Anyway, when we play 4 at the back, fullbacks never go forward, says Tom Brownbridge. It is 5 at the back, mate. You clearly didn't watch the game the other night. It's 3 at the back when you play Tranmere and they're crap. You play Man City or Liverpool, it's 5 at the back, mate. We did not push our fullbacks forward hardly ever against Man City or Liverpool. It's 5 at the back in the Premier League. It's not 3. I'll grant you, if we're playing Tranmere or some crap European farmers, then it will be 3 at the back. But against a team that's anywhere near decent, it's 5 at the back. You look at where Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams were on Wednesday night or at Anfield, and it's 5 at the back. It is 5 at the back. But either way, it's 3 centre-backs. I don't like it. And I don't think it does give you more going forward, because the problem is, if we go with what you're saying, Tom, that it's 3 at the back, who's in front of that three centre-backs who are marking 1 forward? You have 3 centre-backs marking 1 forward, and then you've got Matic and Fred holding the midfield in front. So you've got 5 people. And that's if your fullbacks do go forward, which they don't. So you've got 5 defenders, 3 centre-backs and 2 holding midfielders. Then you've got Wan-Bissaka who can't go forward and Brandon Williams who's a young kid, learning the role. It's a very defensive system. I don't like it. But as somebody said there, I think it's damage limitation, isn't it? It's about if we can nick a win, great, but we make sure we don't lose. I want us to just play a bit more attacking, because I think we've got the players to do it. And then people moan at people like Martial. I don't like it, but if we play Maguire, Lindelof and Bissaka as the back 3 and Williams and Shaw and Delot as the wing backs, it would be better, says Kay Evans. I agree with that. I don't think Wan-Bissaka is a right wing back in a million years. Sam A, I hate 5 at the back. Delot should start on the right if we do play 5. Yeah. And Darren Cox says Dortmund always do good transfer business, shows how a club should work towards getting the best team on the pitch. Wake up Woodward and get a striker in. Well, look, thanks everybody for watching. Smash a like on the video. We're nearly at 1,000 likes. Keep an eye on the United Stand. Subscribe, because we have got some more content coming up for you. We're just deciding how we're going to run it this afternoon and this evening. Whether we'll do a transfer deadline day show, I don't know, but we will definitely be live again, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks everybody for watching, and let's see what happens. I think United have got to bring somebody in. I think it's going to be very surprising and interesting if we do. Thanks for watching. Get your comments in. I'll speak to you soon.